What the fuck?
What would you do if your childhood toy turned into a killing machine? In The Monkey, 2025, two brothers find an old toy monkey buried deep in their family's attic. You know, the creepy kind with symbols that clang together on their own. At first, it's just weird. But then, people start dying. Not in accidents, not by chance. And every time those little brass symbols crash together, someone they love doesn't make it through the night. What started as a trip down memory lane spirals into a full-blown nightmare as the brothers race to break the curse before the monkey claps for them next. So, let's get started. The movie opens with a creepy tune in an antique shop filled with odd items. Petey Shelbourne enters covered in blood, holding a monkey doll. He tells the shopkeeper that the blood is not his, and warns him not to call the doll a toy.
Yeah, it's not even mine. It was just this.
Petey says that if the doll's drumstick ever comes down, they will go to hell. The shopkeeper, skeptical, agrees to take it. Suddenly, the monkey starts playing the drum, and a rat chews through a rope, triggering a harpoon that kills the shopkeeper. Later, Bill and Hal, Petey's sons, find the monkey in a wooden box labeled Organ Grinder's Monkey. Hal turns the key, and the monkey moves its drumstick. They do not think much of it. At a Japanese restaurant, the monkey plays its drum in the car, and Hal hears strange music. The chef accidentally kills their Annie by cutting her throat. Hal hopes this will change their relationship, but it does not. At the funeral, the priest says, everything happens for a reason, even if it is tragic. Afterward, their mom talks about how everyone will die, some peacefully, some violently. She tells them to dance, and they have fun together. Hal reflects that despite attending a funeral, it was one of the happiest days of his life. The next day at school, girls bully him, saying his father left because they are ugly, and his mom deserves a better life. They embarrass him by pulling down his pants. At home, Hal finds the monkey in his room and wonders why it is there. That night, he asks the monkey if it caused the Annie's death.
Have anything to do with my babysitter's head, right?
And in frustration, he turns its key, making the drumsticks move. The next day, Hal is mocked at school, and his brother Bill insults him. At home, Hal feels down and frustrated, thinking the monkey is responsible for everything bad happening. He turns the key again, and that night, their mom dies from an aneurysm. But Hal knows the monkey is the real cause. At the funeral, Hal realizes the monkey kills when the key is turned, just like the writing on the box said. Bill does not accept their mom's death and breaks down. Uncle Chip promises to care for Hal.
It's just that our very best might be, pretty bad.
That night, Hal destroys the monkey with an axe, and blood pours out. He throws the pieces away, thinking it is over, but his relationship with Bill does not improve. Uncle Chip and Aunt Ida adopt Hal, moving with him to Maine in hopes of a better life. When they arrive, Hal asks Bill if he is going to take off his suit. Bill refuses, believing that if he never removes it, there won't be any more funerals. That night, Hal tells Bill the monkey is cursed and may have caused their Annie's death.
It's a bad monkey. It's a bad magic killer monkey.
Bill suggests using the monkey, but Hal refuses. Bill then turns the key, thinking whoever does will be the next to die. The next day, Uncle Chip dies in a bizarre accident, getting trampled by horses. Hal and Bill decide to lock the monkey away, thinking it is finally over. 25 years later, Aunt Ida wakes up to a strange noise, investigates, and collapses. She experiences excruciating pain as hooks dig into her face. She rushes to the kitchen but catches fire, and in her agony, drives a stake into her face to end the pain. Hal, feeling disconnected from his brother and family, believes staying away is the only way to protect them from the cursed monkey.
I don't have any friends, and I do my best to stay away from family.
He takes his son, Pete, to the amusement park for the first time in years. Hal's ex-wife's partner, Ted, informs him that Pete is asking about him and is about to adopt him, meaning Hal won't be able to see him again. Hal argues with Ted, trying to salvage his relationship with Petey. Meanwhile, Ricky finds the monkey at Aunt Ida's garage sale and has a vision of his father. His mother warns him about the man being dangerous. That night, Hal has a nightmare involving the monkey. He gets a call from Bill, who tells him Aunt Ida has died. Not of old age, but from a strange accident. Bill insists on checking her house and warns Hal about the monkey. Hal advises Bill to keep the monkey away from Petey if found. Later, a woman dives into a pool and is killed when the heater falls in, reminding Hal of the dangers surrounding them. Fed up, Hal decides to take Petey right away, though Petey is confused and asks if his father is under the influence. Hal angrily tells him to get ready quickly. On the way, Hal informs Petey that Aunt Ida has died, but Petey asks about his mother's death. Hal realizes Aunt Ida raised him after his mom passed. Petey wants to go with him, but Hal insists he should not see such a sad place. Hal gives Petey the choice to leave or make the most of their time together. Hal recalls his mother's advice to accept life as it is. The next morning, Hal wakes to find Petey missing, but hears the monkey's drumstick. Petey appears and suggests doing something fun. At Aunt Ida's house, Hal tells Petey to stay in the car while he handles things, but Petey insists on learning more about his family. Hal refuses, but Petey insists on using the bathroom before he stays in the car. Just then, a woman knocked on the car window, introducing herself as Barbara. She said Hal's brother told her he'd be coming.
Your brother Bill Shelbourne said you'd be coming?
Oh, yeah, right.
She greeted Petey, who was surprised and said he did not know he had an uncle. Petey added that Hal was only going to be his dad for a few more days after that. An eccentric Christian would take his place. Barbara invited them inside. As they went upstairs, Barbara asked Hal if he had a good relationship with his aunt. Hal said yes, and Barbara confessed that just a day after Aunt Ida's death, they had held a garage sale. When Hal opened the door, a shotgun hanging on the wall went off by accident, blowing Barbara to pieces. Petey, shocked, asked if everything was okay. Hal, still in shock, told him it was, even though the room was covered in what was left of her. Soon, a police officer arrived. She questioned Hal and told him he could not leave until the investigation was done. Hal protested, saying he promised Petey they would go to the amusement park, but Petey, worried about what happened to Barbara, said it was probably best to stay close. The officer suggested they find a hotel until the forensic team finished their work.
No, officer. I promised my son that I was going to take him to horror heaven.
Actually, officer, we moved off going to horror heaven.
Hal told Petey to wait in the car, but Petey said it was not a surprise since his dad was always leaving him behind. As they took Barbara's body away, a group of young guys seemed happy about what had happened. Inside the house, Hal was looking for the monkey when the phone rang. It was Bill. He said he knew what was going on and that no one had found the monkey. He told Hal to go to a hotel and wait for his signal. Hal realized Bill lived in the city, so he looked up his name and address. When he found his number, it hit him that Bill was the one who activated the monkey. We then saw Bill, still in his funeral suit, confess that after he walked away, he finally understood the terrible truth behind everything. He knew Hal had turned the key, and that is why their mother died. Ever since, he hated Hal. After throwing the monkey into the pit, he went looking for it, but it was gone. The only thing left was the key. Bill knew the monkey would come back eventually, and one day it did through a fortune cookie. The monkey spoke to him, saying that if he turned the key, he would learn the truth. Bill saw the monkey everywhere and realized it could help him get revenge. He put on his old funeral suit, found the monkey, and turned the key. Back in the present, Bill turned the key again, and Hal's boss choked on his cigar. Moments later, Ricky showed up at Bill's place and told him he needed the monkey.
You know, if maybe I could give you your $15 back and instead I could just keep the toy monkey.
Bill said that right before dying, people tend to curse a lot because death comes when you least expect it. He also mentioned seeing Hal and Petey recently, wondering if Petey turned the key. it might cause his death. Ricky demanded the monkey, but Bill refused. Ricky, seeking revenge, decided to use his father's gun and asked if Bill had any spare bullets. While heading to the hotel, Petey told his father he still had Barbara's blood on him. He then asked if Hal had ever killed someone. Hal did not say it directly, but it was clear. Petey said he would call his mom when they got to the motel to tell her everything. He also said he did not want Ted to adopt him, but Hal told him it was still the best choice. At the hotel, Hal called his brother and demanded he stop turning the key because too many innocent people had died because of it. Just then, Ricky, dressed in their father's uniform, showed up at Hal's place and took them both hostages. When they got to Bill's house, Hal asked where they were, and Ricky told him it was his brother's place. The plan was simple. Petey would go inside, talk to his uncle, make peace, and bring back the monkey. Petey, confused, asked what monkey he was talking about, and if that was why Hal had been a bad father. Hal said no, that it was not just a toy, but a tool of evil. Ricky warned that if Petey did not move quickly, there would be consequences.
Hey, kid, you gotta hope that you get that goddamn monkey, because I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Petey got out of the car and knocked on the door, but when no one answered, he sneaked in through the pet door. He triggered a few traps, but when he got to the stairs, he saw that stepping on a wire would cause ninja swords to pierce him. But Bill knew Petey would not fall for that, so he had another plan. Hal asked Ricky if he was really a cop, and Ricky confirmed, adding that their father had disappeared long ago. They noticed a large wasp nest nearby. Inside, Petey met his Uncle Bill, who was praying to the monkey. Bill asked Petey to help fix it, saying it once belonged to their grandfather. Bill urged Petey to turn the key.
Turn the key. See what happened.
Petey did, and the monkey came to life, causing the wasp nest to lower. Ricky shot at the nest, and wasps attacked him, suffocating him. Hal rushed out of the car to find Petey. Bill forced Pete to hit the monkey's drum, and when it did, a strange sound triggered the city to collapse, causing a plane to explode. Hal confronted Bill, blaming him for many deaths, and asked why he did it. Bill admitted he wanted Hal to pay for their mother's death. Hal apologized, and Bill asked for forgiveness. Hal offered to fix their relationship, and Bill joked about a road trip. But just then, the monkey's drumstick triggered cannon that killed Bill. Hal and Pete drove back, with Pete shocked at the destruction Bill caused. Petey realized that life is about birth and death. Hal said they needed to watch the monkey carefully. They walked away and saw a Ghost Rider pass by. Hal, nodding at the rider, suggested they go dancing, like their grandmother used to make them do.
Hey, I just got an idea of what we should do right now.
Just then, a speeding car crashed into a school bus, killing several students instantly, and the movie ends here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more.